This is level N, list 11, and we're doing the day 1 page. And in these words, that we find that they're all ending with a silent E. And we'll go back and discuss why that E is on the end of these words. Alright, so shone comes from the word shine, and it's past tense of shine. So we've just carried over the E from the shine, where the E would have made the I make its long sound. In scone, we've got in some countries they would actually pronounce that as scone, so that would make the O make a long sound. But in Australia we typically say scones. We've changed that to a short vowel sound over time. Now these words that end in S or Z, it's to show that it's not a plural form. So they felt that if they left these words as ending in an S, people would think they were in their plural form. So this is indicating that they're all singular. And then if you want to make them in the plural form, you have to add the S after the E. So that's just confirming that they all are singular in form. So sneeze, we've got the double E, long E sound in those three and four. In loose, we've got the double O, oos, 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 so we've got that oo sound. And promise, there's all short vowel sounds in that one. So let's choose another colour and we'll go back and see if we can see any other things as well. I might choose a nice red. So we've got the SH for the sh sound here. We know to use a C before an O for the k sound. Down here we've got the Q, must always be followed by U whenever we use it. And there's nothing else in there that we need to discuss. If we look at the meanings of these words, we've already discussed that shone is a past tense of shine. Scone is it's something we might have for morning or afternoon tea. It's a cross between a bread and cake. We quite often put jam and cream on it to make it yummy. Sneeze is when we have air coming out of our nose that we can't control, and it might be because we're allergic to something or we have a cold or something like that. A breeze is a gentle wind or air movement. Freeze is when something turns to ice, but we can also use it to mean that we're very cold. Like you might say, I'm freezing. Doesn't mean that you're turning to ice, but you're very cold. Squeeze means when you firmly press something. You might squeeze oranges to get the juice out of them. Loose means that something is not firm. You might have a loose tooth. A moose is a large type of deer. A goose is a large water bird. And a promise is when you guarantee or assure someone that you're going to do something. You're going to make a promise that you do something. Right, let's go back and read the word, sound the word, and spell them. So we've got shone, sh-o-n, 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 S-H-O-N-E, S-H-O-N-E, S-H-O-N-E. So let's try writing it 3 times. So we do the S, come back around, go up to the H, over for the O, come back around, do the handle for the N, and then up for the E. So do the S, up for the H, do your heel, over like a wave crashing, come back around, do your handle for the N, and up for the E. S, up for the H, do your heel, over for the O, come back around, handle for the N, and up for the E. Level N, list 11, and we're doing the day 2 page, and we've got a silent E on the end of all of these words. Now we're calling it a silent E because we don't really need that E there to make the previous vowel long or for any other reason, except to show that these words here that end with S or Z are one syllable. So when they were writing words initially, to show the plural, if they had cat, they knew they could make it cats by adding an S. So when they got to words like moose, they thought, well, if we let it end in an S, people will think it's plural. So we'll put an E at the end of it, and then if they want to make it a plural, they still have to add the S after the E. So that's the reason why a lot of these words have that E at the end of them. It's not really needed, just put there to show that they're singular. Okay, let's have a look at what else is showing in these words. In shone, we've got the sh. The E is not making that say shown. In scone, once again, it's not making the O make a long sound. In sneeze, we've already got the long E sound happening with the double E, and same with breeze and freeze and squeeze. Now you also know that if you write a Q in a word, it always has to be followed with a U. Every Q is followed by U. Loose, we've got that long vowel sound again happening anyway, so we don't need the E on the end to make it. Loose, moose, goose, and promise, it's just because the S is there to show that it's not a plural. We've put the E on the end. Alright, let's go through and read the words, sound the words and spell the words. We talked about their meaning yesterday. So let's go. Shone, sh-o-n, S-H-O-N-E. And it's past tense of shine. Sh-o-n. You can say, sometimes you'll need to say shone and sometimes you'll need to say shine, like he shined my shoes or the sun shone. So it's one of the past tense of shine. Now, so you can finish the rest of those on your own. Down the bottom here, it talks a little bit about how we say the word scone. So in American English, scone rhymes with tone, so it would be scone. In British English, scone rhymes with gone, like scone, how we say it. And in Australia, a scone can also be a forehead, a person's head. My scone hurts, or my head hurts. Okay, let's go through and look what else we have to do on this page. Write the list word to match the meaning. A large water bird, you have to find which word would match that. Fill in the gap with the correct word. We've got shiny, shone, lose, loose, loss, sneeze and snooze. So be very careful as to where you're putting those in there. If you get a bit stuck, discuss it within your group. This is level N, list 11, and we're doing the day 3 page where we have this silent E on the end of these words. So we've got shone, scone, sneeze, breeze, freeze, squeeze, loose, moose, goose, promise. And we've discussed on day 1 and 2 why we have the E on the end of those words. So let's go straight into reading, sounding and spelling. We've got shone, sh-o-n, S-H-O-N-E. You need to cover it. And then we're going to write it. And you can use running writing or print the words, it won't matter. But then go back and check that you've spelt it correctly, and if you've made a mistake, fix it up. Finish the sentence with the correct verb tense, and the list words will help you. So they're all coming from here. But you're going to have to change probably the ending of the words to make them suit the sentence, the way in which are used within these sentences. My auntie something a lot in spring as she has hay fever. So if you want to write in sneezes, you'd have to add the S to that. The E is already there. You can hear the Is at the end, so you know it's going to be an ES ending. But if the E is there, you only have to add the S. You can work through those on your own. Now down here, we've got some plural nouns. You have to circle the correct plural. So would it be scone? Which one would it be? Circle it and work through the others. Just be careful as you go through these, because there is an irregular plural noun in there that you might not be aware of otherwise, so just be careful. Fill in the gap with the correct word. We've got loosen, loosely, looser, so you can write those into that sentence. Add the noun by adding an extension to the list word. So you're going to have to work out what that extension will be to make the noun in its correct form in these sentences. Then down the very bottom, you're just adding a list word to create a new word, a compound word. This is level N, list 11, and we're doing the day 4 page, and it's on subject-verb agreement. So if you're talking about one thing or a singular thing in a noun in a sentence, you use is. But if you're talking about more than one thing or a plural noun, then you've got to use are. So a singular noun needs a singular verb. A plural noun needs a plural verb. So we've got, as an example, the girl, which is singular noun, is singular verb. The girl is playing in the park. That sounds right. The girls, now we've got a plural noun, so we're going to use the plural verb, are. The girls are playing in the park. That sounds correct too. Listen to what it sounds like if it's wrong. The girls is playing in the park. No, that sounds wrong because we've got a plural noun and a singular verb. So it's very important that you get that right. Remember, if it's a singular, meaning one noun, then you're using is. And if it's more than one or a plural noun, you're using are. So let's go. Write the correct verb to match the subject in the following sentences. Is or are. Mum says that salad greens is or are the most important part of the meal. You have to work out which one sounds right and is right and put it in there. Down the bottom, you have to write a sentence with is, which is you're using a singular verb, and one with are, which means you're using a plural verb in it. So you do those down there.